Today I think you'll find you'll be in agreement with what I have to say. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Emma Cownley. I'm a freelance copywriter and blogger, and today I'm going to be giving you the down low on writers' agreements. What they are, whether or not you really need them, and if you decide to use one, how to kind of approach the subject with a brand new client without feeling awkward or making it seem like you're trying to get them to sign their life away. Do you need a writer's agreement? Yes. In all honesty, when I first started freelancing, I didn't use writer's agreements, and I kind of felt like they were something that much bigger companies, freelance writing companies would use, or writers who have tons and tons of massive clients or tons and tons of clients would probably use those because they're more professional. They are a business. I'm just one person alone in my flat writing copy for people. Absolutely not true. Every freelancer, from the smallest to the largest, can benefit from an agreement with their client. And if you are interested in using one, I'm just going to say now that I will pop a resource for you in the description box below where you can go away and download a template for free, which you can customize and use yourself. It's one that I personally use. It's a copywriting agreement that was given to pro copywriters by John McGarvey, I believe. Let me just have a little check. John McGarvey. If I ever meet you, John, I owe you a beer or a cake or perhaps your own private island. John, you're amazing. What is a writer's agreement or a copywriting contract? It is essentially a contract between you and the client which you both sign, which stipulates the scope of the job, what you promise to deliver, when you're going to deliver it, what the payment terms are, what the payment will be, whether or not there's a kill fee, whether or not there is a deposit required. It covers job sign-off, it covers copyright, legal obligations, all that good junk that just need to be set in stone, read, understood and signed off before you start any work. I typically use these for brand new clients, for maybe the first job that I'm doing with them, or if I'm going to be starting on a rolling retainer, I include all of the details for each monthly scope of work and just say, here we go, let's sign this, now we're both protected, let's go forward. I also use it for one-off projects, especially one-off projects, and especially with one-off projects with people I don't know. Absolutely an agreement, yes, do that. Reasons to consider using a copywriting agreement. Number one, it sets the expectation for the client. Never, ever, 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 ever assume that your client understands how a freelance relationship should work. They might have people that they use regularly, that they use in an entirely different way, an entirely different process that's different to how you work. And if you go in, oh, they work with copywriters all the time, this will be fine, you're kind of setting yourself up for disaster and miscommunication, which is absolutely not what you want. You want them to understand exactly how you work, what's expected of them, when they're going to need to deliver payment, when they're going to need to deliver deposit, how quickly they need to give feedback, and how the whole process works from beginning to end with you as a freelancer specifically. So it really does help them understand what's going to happen once they start working with you. A copywriting agreement is protection for both you and your client. So for example, they have a signed document from you which says, I will deliver this piece of work. This piece of work will include X, Y, and Z. I will give you a first draft by this date. This is everything that it will include. If you sign it off, you will own full copyright from this date, blah, 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 blah. So they feel less like they're trusting someone they don't know, giving them a load of money and hoping that they're going to get what they want and you're not going to run off. Obviously, as freelancers, you and I know that we could be trusted. We're not going to run off with someone's money. We're not charlatans. But clients often need a little bit of security to feel like they've got protection if you go rogue. So it gives them that protection, and also it protects you from things like scope creep, people bouncing on invoices, people not feeding back in time, people killing the project and then trying to walk away without paying you for the work that you've done so far. John McGarvey, oh my God, writing a kill fee into the contract, you have saved my arse, I can tell you that much. People trying to push back a project or kill a project when you've already started working on it, you're still owed money because you still worked on it, at least partially. So you get a little bit of protection from that. Who is driving outside? My neighbours. Yeah, just carry on. Yeah, keep shouting. Do you know what? We're just going to carry on. We're just going to carry on. We don't have time for other people's children. So the third reason it pays to use a copywriting agreement is that it shows you're a professional. So I know that some of you might be thinking,
oh God, it's only for bigger people, it's not for me, clients might be funny if I send it to them.
I literally, my most recent client that I signed up on retainer last month, the month before, I told him, I'm going to just, before we get started, I'm going to send you this agreement. It outlines what's going to happen. If you could just sign that and get it back to me, that'd be great. And he said, thank goodness, I was going to ask if you had anything like this. He was fucking expecting it because he knows I'm a professional, okay? It really does just help to get the relationship off on the right start by outlining the process and stuff and showing that you have considered these things, that you're experienced enough to know what could happen in the long term on a project. You've kind of thought of every eventuality and kind of written that into a document. So it does make you look really quite the professional. Everyone's driving today. Not being funny, whose kid is that? Why do children have to be so annoying? I'm so annoyed that I kind of have to laugh. But it's just not coming out. So finally, how are you going to approach the subject with a brand new client? Because obviously it can feel a little bit awkward, you know? You think, oh, if I make them do too much stuff and I don't hurry to close the deal now, they might walk away. If I introduce any kind of friction into the onboarding process, they're going to leave and I'll lose them. Mate, if you tell a client, a brand new client, that you would like them to sign a document to outline the scope of the job, the working relationship, make everything feel official, give everyone some protection, and they tell you no, they don't want to sign anything, or they walk away and ghost because you've asked to make things official, is that a great client? And have you potentially saved yourself a lot of ball ache in the long run? So the way I personally like to do things, you've got your discovery call, you've chatted through with the client what it is that they need and what you can bring to the project and kind of how you might do it, for example. The next stage is for you to pull together a professional quote which breaks down every single item that you're going to provide within the project. Be as fucking specific as you can. Send them a professional quote for them to read, understand, sign off, okay? You're going to use that quote within your agreement, so it's really important to spend time on that. Once you have that back, just say, hey, we're almost ready to start now. I'm just going to send you a writer's agreement that outlines everything we've talked about here. And I'm ready to get started once you've signed it and returned it and my initial deposit has been paid. We can get started straight away. I like to pitch it as something that I do with all my clients, because I do. I say, hey, this is just something I do with every client. It helps to give us both a little bit of protection and security. And I've really found that it gets the relationship off to a great start. So you're not pitching it as, you're going to screw me over and I want to make sure you can't. I'm going to screw you over and I want you to sign your life away. You're kind of saying, you're laying it out exactly how it is, basically. It's protection for the both of us. It gets the relationship off to a strong start because we both understand what is going to happen in this relationship. And then obviously there's a section of the writer's agreement which says, here's what I promise to provide you. You're going to snatch that out of your quote, dump it into the contract just to make sure it's seamless between the two. There's no discrepancies. And later if they say, oh, and this, you can say, no bitch, it's not in the writer's agreement, it's not in the quote, I'm going to have to quote separately for this. No scope creep on my dime, mother lover. And that's just how I like to approach things. As I said, if I've been working with the same client for ages and ages, I'm not going to make them sign an agreement every single fucking time they approach me for work. It's just the first time, that first initial project. Or if I'm signing them up for a retainer, I like to tinker with the agreement a little bit to stipulate that it's a monthly, every month I will give you boff. It will be this, it will be delivered in this format, blah, 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 blah. And that just about brings us to the end of the video. Sorry for all the interruptions. Sorry for how spicy I am. It's way earlier than I would normally film a video. I actually haven't even brushed my teeth yet. So it's a good thing you're not in the room with me because I probably fucking hum. If you have any questions about anything I've discussed here today about writers' agreements, do leave me a comment below or find me on Twitter at EJ Cownley and I will very happily answer your questions over there. Also, if there's anything that you're curious about with regard to starting a freelance business or living and existing as a freelancer, pop a comment below and maybe I'll make a video on it. You know, I always love to hear what you guys think or what you want to know about, so I'm happy to make videos kind of on request, I guess. But before you ask for something, do check my channel because I've been making videos for about 3 years now and I'm starting to think there aren't many topics I haven't covered already. Give that a little browse. And yeah, I'll see you back here, same time, same place, in 2 weeks for more Kiss My A's. Until then, take care, peace out.